Good afternoon and welcome to the Community Relations Commission Lunch and Learn series. My name is Napoleon Bell and I'm the Executive Director with the City of Columbus Community Relations Commission. We'd like to welcome you to our humble home here at 1111 East Broad Street for the second of 5 of our Lunch and Learn series with our youth. Being that 2 months ago we did one on understanding violence, and then our last month was on bullying. And so today's conversation is on summer opportunities for our youth. We want to make sure that, that this gets out on the airwaves, but also to all the providers and resources that are available here in the City of Columbus to help our youth get through a positive and impactful experience for the summer. Because we know that that is key to the success of our youth going through the summer, but going into to their school years following shortly thereafter. So we want to make sure that they have every opportunity. But also what's important with our conversation here is that our resource providers talk to each other also, so that they can help each other in helping our youth. And I always like to take the opportunity during these Lunch and Learn series to let you know a little bit about the Columbus Community Relations Commission and what we do. Primarily 3 different areas, in the area of enforcing the Civil Rights Code for the City of Columbus, working with the New Americans Initiative, working with the refugee and immigrant populations in the city, also with homeless advocacy and dealing with critical issues involving the homeless, and community empowerment, also one of the areas, and community police relations. So we work in those areas, and if you want to get a hold of our office, please do that. Our office number is 645-1993. That's 645-1993. Also, check us out on the web at www.crc.columbus.gov. And then be sure, as all of you Facebook people know, like us on Facebook at the Columbus Community Relations Commission. So I want to see our likes go way up after watching, after our viewing audience, and then also our viewing audience there at home. So let's get started. Let's get started with the conversation, and then at the end of the conversation, everyone in our audience will have the opportunity to come on up and ask your question. At that point in time, we want you to come here and stand by the podium and then ask your question of our panelists. So we look forward to that also. So let's introduce the panelists. Next to me, to my right, I have Linda Gaeta from Recreation and Parks. She's the administrative manager. I'd like to welcome you. Next to her, we have Beth Boomersheim from 4-H Youth Development. She's the extension educator. I'd like to welcome you to the program. And next to her, we have Peggy Murphy. She's from the Highland Youth Garden, and she's our community advocate amongst so many different hats that she does out there, but makes a lot of impact out in the community. And next to her, we have Julie Clima. She's from the Girl Scouts. She's the outdoor program manager. I'd like to welcome you. And then last but not least, from our building right in here, Jo Youngs. She's from COWIC, which is the Central Ohio Workforce Investment Corporation. She's the Business Solutions Assistant Director. I'd like to welcome all of you to the program and to a great conversation here. So, you know, I'm the person that asks the hard questions, so I'm hoping you guys are ready and prepared for this, because, you know, it's like they say on CNN, you know, we're going to really rake them over the coals, make sure they're giving us all the information that you do here in your great departments. I'm just kidding, but we want to have a great experience. And if there's something that I don't ask you, please be sure to bring it up. If there's a great program that you have going on, please be sure to bring that up, because we want to hear more about it. So let's first of all get acquainted with you and let the audience know a little bit about yourself and your department. So I guess we could first start to my right with Linda.
Thank you, Napoleon. I am grateful to be here. I've been involved with the Recreation and Parks Department, serving the citizens in Central Ohio for a combined year of 18 years combined. And we are in our 103rd year of serving the citizens of Columbus in a variety of programs, outdoor and indoor. We have 30 community recreation centers, 7 pools, 6 golf courses, 3 spray grounds, over 250 miles of parks, square miles of parks. We have all kinds of activities planned for the summer, and I look forward to sharing most of them with you. And if I had a whole hour, I'd probably share all of them with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And Beth?
Well, I'm Beth Boomersheim with Ohio State University Extension, Franklin County. I'm the extension educator for 4-H Youth Development. OSU Extension is the outreach arm of The Ohio State University, and we offer programs depending on our local funding in each county throughout the state. We offer programs in family and consumer sciences, agriculture, horticulture, and natural resources, community development, and of course, my area, 4-H youth development. 4-H youth development is a program that here in Franklin County, we offer programming in our community clubs, our day camp, our overnight camp, after-school programs, school enrichment programs, all kinds of things. So hopefully I can discuss those with you today.
Great. Thank you so much. Peggy?
Hi, my name is Peggy Murphy, and I am really a community advocate. I have worked with families throughout the city of Columbus over the past 20 years. Primarily, I work with beautification and gardening programs and with children. That is where I really like to stay, is working with younger children and teaching them about growing food, growing flowers, growing just anything that we can grow in the garden. And I am presently with the Highland Youth Garden. It is a half-an-acre garden in the Hilltop area, right off of Highland and Floral Avenue. And it is a state-of-the-art garden. We have a steering committee of probably about 9 people right now that help to guide the garden. And we have over 400 children that we're teaching how to grow fresh produce. And 4 years ago, whenever we started, we're going into our 5th season. 4 years ago, we polled 50 children, and only 4 had ever seen a green bean on a plant. And this was a great concern to us because we want our children to know where our fresh food comes from. So we started this garden with Land Bank property and with Oakley Full Gospel Baptist Church property. And it has been a wonderful success. I brought some pictures in the back at the table. I'd like for you to see those at the end of our presentation.
Thank you so much. And next to her, we have Julie.
Hi, my name is Julie Clima, and I'm with the Girl Scouts of Ohio's Heartland. If you're not familiar with how the Girl Scouts is set up, in the state of Ohio, there are 3 councils. Our council is the largest. When I say I work for Girl Scouts, they say, oh, what do you do? And I say, well, I run the day camp program. And they said, oh, that's really neat. You got a couple day camps? And I said, well, actually, I have 27. So I coordinate all the day camps in the council, which is 30 counties wide. So after having been at Ohio State for 25 years, I moved to the Girl Scouts, and actually I've only been there, like 6 months? And that's how I'm like, how did I get selected to come do this? I don't really know anything, but I'm gonna do my best. But it's been great. I travel all over the council, as far south as Portsmouth, as far north as Worcester. So it's been a good experience. I work with staff. There's 4 main staff per camp, so it's like up to 85 staff, volunteers that I work with to coordinate all the day camps. The way the council is split up is within regions. There's 4 regions, and there's an outdoor program manager assigned to each region in addition to an indoor program manager. So my region is Region 1, which is the top most 9 counties, the northernmost 9 counties across the top. And so the camp that I have is in a place called Mount Gilead, and it's called Crooked Lane, and it's beautiful, and it's kind of a diamond in the rough. So we're starting to do some programming up there, and that's one of my biggest things right now, is to program and get some people outdoors. So hopefully we're going to share a lot of really cool things that are going on this summer, and I can probably share most about day camps, but I'll do my best to do the other things because we got a lot of great stuff going on. So thanks, and thanks for coming.
Excellent.
Yes.
Joe?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Jo Youngs with COWIC, and I jokingly teased with the panel that today, because it's the day before the holiday weekend, we would be the panel and the audience. So that's not turning out to be so true. But COWIC, we are the Workforce Development Center for Franklin County, and in partnership with the city and the county, Job and Family Services, Ohio Means Jobs, we assist job seekers and employers in their employment needs so that we ultimately can have a positive effect on the economic climate here in Franklin County. But we work with job seekers from entry level to very little experience on up with folks with dual degrees. And in that vein, we also work with employers that are looking for folks with skill sets that range from entry level to needing needing folks with lots of experience professionally. So we also work with job seekers that may not be quite prepared to go into the world of work, and we'll assist them with some of the barriers that they may be experienced at that point. And it could be something as simple as transportation and daycare. So we partner with a number of organizations in the community that allow us to work with job seekers holistically, because that's what's important. We have to look at what their challenges are so that we can ensure that, once they do begin work, that they are successful and are able to stay there. So I am excited about being here today and having the opportunity to share information about our SOAR Higher program.
Excellent. Thank you so much, panelists, for those introductions and a little tidbit of what you've got, because I think we're going to have a very full conversation listening to just that. So let's just really get into it about the programs, about the programs that all of you offer. And I guess we can start back over here with Linda. I know Recreation and Parks has a considerable amount of programs, but if you have the top 2 or 3. What would be those programs, and how do we get our young people into those programs?
Well, before I begin, I wanted to let you know that we do have our catalog that we put out with all our summer programs. There's over 40 pages that list all our camps, playgrounds, pools, golf courses, and special events that we hold. So I want to make sure that if you're wanting that catalog, it is available in the back of the room. Our top program is the ones that really offer all-day activities for the children to go to each of our 30 sites. There's from 9 to 6 o'clock, there's a variety of programs, arts and craft, group games. We provide a free lunch program for the children. They do water activities. They may even learn to cook and do science experiments. This year we're doing some reading and writing and journaling in our programs. Fishing at our centers that have fishing ponds. So I would say the biggest program is held right at your community recreation center. And then we offer camps. Camps, again, run from anywhere from 8 to 6 p.m., and they start early registration in March. Our most popular one is our outdoor education camps. We have 900 people on a waiting list, so we're going to expand those opportunities next year. And that is something to get the children outdoors, away from the neighborhoods they are, to experience nature. And we can find nature right in the middle of the city, which is so exciting. Our third biggest program is our sports camps. We have golf, basketball, ice hockey, street hockey. We have camps that do specific exploration in the arts and creative drama. So I think those are a few of our biggest programs that we serve thousands of children each summer. So if you're wanting additional information, definitely grab this brochure and the catalogs in the back, because we have, like I say, hundreds and hundreds of opportunities for our youth.
Linda, and a quick follow-up question to that, and you talked about the brochures, and to not only our viewing audience here, but the millions that are on CTV that are watching, how would they get that information? Could they get it from online, or could you send in for it? How do they get this information?
I'll tell you, with technology today, Facebook and Twitter, which I'm not real good at tweeting, we have this exact catalog on our Columbus Recreation and Parks website, page by page, listing also some other things that you can click on that you might be interested in. But if you go to www.columbusrecsparks.com, you're able to pull up this brochure and then click into each of our individual sites to see what they're offering with their summer programming.
Okay, would they also be able to come here and pick up maybe the hard copy?
They can pick up hard copies right here at the main office at 1111 East Broad Street. Many of our centers have them available, so they may want to check at their local recreation center also.
Great, thank you so much for
You're
that
welcome.
information. Next up, we'd like to hear from Beth in your areas of programming.
Sure. Well, many of you know that the 4-H Youth Development Program has been around for a long time, and oftentimes people think 4-H and think, oh, people are taking animals to the fair. Well, actually, 4-H isn't all about cows and plows anymore. We do all kinds of other fun and exciting educational programming for kids in the city, in the suburbs, and in the country. So I would say our top programs, we do many, many, many programs, but our top program would be our community club program. We have over 40 community clubs throughout Franklin County, and those are all run by our wonderful 4-H volunteers who are screened at the Ohio State University to make sure that they are going to be providing good educational programming in a safe way. And those community clubs do all kinds of things, community service, public speaking, leadership opportunities, in addition to helping the kids with their individual 4-H projects, which range from rocketry to computer science to animal science, any kind of, we have over 200 different kinds of projects that the kids can take. And so oftentimes they get to take those projects, they work on them throughout the spring and summer, and then once they complete them, they can have them evaluated by an expert at the Franklin County Fair. In addition to our community club program, we also offer a program, our camping program. We have both an overnight camp, which will be June 17th to the 21st this year. And there's information in the back of the room about our 4-H overnight camping program. The deadline to register is coming up very quickly. It will be May 28th, which is Tuesday, to avoid the late fee. But it's 5 days, 4 nights at beautiful 4-H Camp, Ohio. And it's my favorite week of the year to spend with 250 wonderful kids out at 4-H Camp, Ohio. For our kindergarten through second graders, we have something called Cloverbud Day Camp, and that is 1 day. I believe it's June 7th this year. There's information in the back on that. And that is a 1-day day camp where kids kindergarten through second grade come, and this year our theme is Art in the Garden. And the kids come out and do all kinds of different activities relating to art in the garden. That registration was due May 17th, but because of this opportunity, we will extend that until Tuesday, the 28th. So I would say our camping program is our second most popular program. And our third most popular program is our after school and summer day camp supplemental enrichment programs that we do. We offer all kinds of programs relating to STEM, local foods, all kinds of fun activities that if you have an after school or a summer daycare program that you would like us to come in and do a program for you, we are happy to do that. We do it for all kinds of organizations and organizations and schools. So we have a brochure in the back with the list of all those different programs that we offer and can come into your program and do for you. So that is a very small snapshot of what 4-H Youth Development does.
Okay, thank you so much. I like the cows and plows term that you used, because that's what I thought about when I heard 4-H. I'm thinking, at the fair, cows and plows. All right, well, thank you so much. Next to her, how about Peggy?
Beth, thank you for mentioning Art in the Garden. Without OSU Extension Franklin County, we probably would have never really had the opportunity to start the garden in the Hilltop. They've been so helpful to other neighborhoods because they provide master gardeners, and that's a lot of expertise that they can give to the children. These are also people that have been through fingerprinting and everything to make sure that they provide safe educational opportunities to children. And I want you to know that we also have 3 Master Gardeners on our steering committee at the Highland Youth Garden. We have the curriculum, the STEM curriculum. One of the Master Gardeners is working diligently with all the teachers and the adults in the programs for the summer to provide curriculum these children can be taking straight from the garden to their classrooms, because what we want to do is help them to take what they're learning in science and math and apply it right there in the garden, hands-on projects. And then whenever they go back to the classrooms, they have something to recall that they had done during the summer. Our summer camp runs from June 4th through August, the first week in August. And we have most of our children, we'd like to invite you to bring your children out during the week, but we also have a Saturday volunteer day at the Highland Youth Garden, and that is from 8:30 to 12:30. And that's open to anyone that wants to come out and volunteer to kind of see what we're doing and maybe help them to do something similar in their neighborhood. And there are so many neighborhoods that have projects like this one. Bill Dawson from Franklin Park Conservatory's Growing to Green has a list of all the gardens that you can take your children to participate, or if you just want to even take a parent to. So often we leave out our elderly that may need something to do during the summer. Get them out of the house, bring them out and let them share some of their wisdom with the children. And but we will be in the garden throughout the entire summer. I welcome each one of you to please come out. We have, you won't be pulling weeds. It's not about, I won't say cows and fowls. I love that whenever Beth says that. But we have a wonderful volunteer that ran a farmer's market for 33 years, and that's Bill Klein from Smith Farms. And he has us, we have a regimented list of things that we have to do each week. So if you come, like you'll pull the sign-in sheet out of the mailbox, you'll sign in, you'll have a list of things that you can choose from to do. And he keeps us on task, but it is, you have never seen a garden like this one, I guarantee it. And I would just welcome each of you to come, and mostly to see the children and see the excitement on their faces whenever they pull a radish out of the ground or they pull a carrot out of the ground. These are things that were fond memories with us when we were children, but sometimes we forget about these simple things and how important that they are to our children. So it doesn't cost anything, just the gas money to get there. So depending on how much the gas goes up this summer, it might cost you a little bit. But I do welcome you. It is right off of West Broad. If you go West Broad Street, to the hilltop, you'll make a left on Wheatland and a first left on Floral Avenue, and our garden is at Floral and Highland. But we thank the churches in the community, the businesses, the Kiwanis. The city of Columbus has just been tremendous, not only in allowing us to use land bank property, which, by the way, anyone can take a piece of $10 land bank property and create a garden in your neighborhood. And it's just amazing how that transforms a whole block. So I could probably talk a long time about gardening, but I think I brought some seeds, and I definitely want to encourage you to stop and see the pictures, because that's worth more than what I can share with you.
Great, thank you so much, Peggy. You know, you're talking about the green thumb thing. Mine's quite not there, but I'm trying to get there. I kill everything I put in the ground, so
Well, come
might
on
need
out to
some
the
help
garden
there.
and we'll teach you.
Excellent.
I'll have the first graders work with you.
Work with me. Okay, not quite sure how to take that then. All right, thanks
That's
so
where you
much.
have to start growing kind of small and
Working up to it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Julie.
Programs. That's what we do. I'm trying to think how many we have. There are so many, and I'm trying to think of the top ones, because I'm new and because I'm favored a little bit more on the outdoor side. But our publication is called My GSOH, and GSOH is Girl Scouts of Ohio's Heartland. And we brought some, they're in the back, and this is just filled chock full of stuff. It's by level, so Brownie, Daisy, Cadet, Senior, and so forth and so on. There's also programs in here for families. We have family fishing, we have family fun Fridays, so it's not only just for the kids. So I would encourage you to go ahead and take a look at this. I probably would want to start off to talk about camps. The day camps, of course, that I work with. There are 26 of them, and you can go to our website, which is www.gsoh.org, and on there you can just go to day camps or camps, and it'll list all the ones that are open. They're, like I said, they're all over council. So most of us, I'm assuming, are right here in Central Ohio. The day camps that are probably closest to here, we have one at Slate Run. We have one at Kenjockety, which is in Galloway, which is not very far from here. And then another one is Camp Sugarbush, which is at Blendon. And the ones that are at Kenjockety, there's one every month or every week. They start June 10th and they go all the way through the last week would be August 4th through 9th. So again, those day camps where the kids can go from 9 to 3. If they have facilities for swimming, they would do swimming, canoeing, fishing. Archery is very popular, and outdoor cooking. And as the kids progress, maybe that's their first step into the outdoors and getting a real feel for it, and then you can move on to resident camp or sleepaway camp, as we call it. And those run, again, there's programs, Girl Scouts is all about progression. So we don't want to just throw a young girl into staying for a whole week because that could be a little bit intimidating. So we have some programs where they go and only sleep over one night. One might be sleep over 2 nights. I don't think we have any that are 3. They do then jump to the full 5-day week. So it's a progression to where they feel most comfortable. Our resident camp right now is in Southern Ohio, in Lucasville, and it's called Camp Molly Lawman. And our camp staff, for them, they're leaving in a few days, I think. And they're going to go down there, and they live down there for the summer. And each week is a different theme. So my daughters are going to, one is going to Camp Sleuth. So the whole week is about, it's kind of like Clue. They get clues, they have to find clues, and they work up to trying to, who done it kind of thing. There's another one called Splash and Saddle. So it combines riding horses with water activities. So there's a range, and again, all ages and different nights for which they could stay. So I would encourage you to take a look at that. And then there's also programs that are not necessarily indoors, but we work collaboratively with different organizations. For example, one that's coming up, it's called It's a Girl Thing, and we partnered with Ohio Wesleyan. And it's my daughter's also going to this. It's pretty neat. They go there and it's a sleepover, and they actually sleep in the residence halls. So it's really good for the Ohio Wesleyan. We've also done some stuff with Ohio State, where they and Otterbein actually. They will go and get a feel for the campus. So it's an exposure for them. It's also it benefits Ohio Wesleyan or whatever institution we're at, because they can actually see what that college campus looks like. We have activities then planned for them. They have a dance, there's a DJ, there's a pool, there's candle making, cake decorating, kickboxing, all kinds of things. I can't remember the whole list for which she had to choose. So that's a really neat one that's coming up. We also partner with Columbus Clippers and the Crew. Those are very, very popular, and they're for families. And the names of them are pretty neat. Kicking It with the Crew, and that's September 21st. And Girl Scout Camp Out with the Columbus Clippers. So the families would go. There's like a parade and a pregame. I think it's they eat. And then after the game, they camp out on the field, literally outside. So it's very cool, and I think it's a very popular program with the kids and the families, and so I just wanted to mention a little bit about that. I'm trying to think. There's just a lot. There's a lot of opportunities, and I would encourage you to get online or take a look at the book. And I just want to mention one that we just had, because it was one that, of course, I put on, and it was up at Crooked Lane, and we were trying to come up with something really neat to do again at that camp. And so it was the first annual Mad Mud Challenge. So, the Warrior Dash and all of these mud things are very popular right now. Well, they don't have them for kids, especially girls. So we came up with one, and we were just hoping for 100, when we had 250 girls. And most of them were 5th graders, and it was awesome. They loved getting muddy. It was great. It was a little cold, It's May 11th. It was a little chilly. But so next year it'll be May 10th, and we're going to shoot for 300 plus. And each year we're going to have different obstacles, and so it was awesome. So thanks.
That's great. I've got one quick follow-up
Sure.
question. To be a part of those programs, do you have to be a Girl Scout?
For most of them you do, but not all of them.
Okay.
There's a $12 membership. So for example, if you did wanted to go to the Columbus Clippers and your daughter wasn't a member yet, she would pay that $12, and then that would then she would be able to go to that. Additionally, then she can go to any other program throughout the entire year.
Now how would one person become a Girl Scout if they wanted to become a Girl Scout?
Again, it's on the website. You can do it through the website,
Okay.
or we have paper copies of everything to sign up. The other thing that's really neat about Girl Scouts, it's a very progressive organization, and by that I mean, when I was going through Girl Scouts years ago, it was you go and you either camp or do crafts, and my one leader did a lot of crafts, and I didn't like that. And I'm just not crafty, that's just the way it is. And so then I had another leader, and she was very outdoorsy. So we went camping, and that was the experience that I remember, and that's the one that I liked. And you had a troop, and you started, and you went at school, but it's not like that anymore. The profile of the girl is very different. A lot of girls are involved in sports in the fall, and they can't. So we've lost a lot of girls because they said, well, I can't because I have practice in the fall, I can't do it. So now what we've done is they could start the troop in the winter. We said, if you start at the troop in the winter, you can still sell Girl Scout cookies. And that's the biggest thing these girls love to do, is to sell Girl Scout cookies. And of course, y'all like to buy them, so it works well. and so they're not penalized for that. So we encourage them to do that. The other thing that's really different right now is that you don't have to be in a troop. If you wanted to join, there is so many opportunities in here, and most of it is not troop stuff. Your troop can do it, but you don't have to sign up as a troop. So, I had a troop, and since second grade, but in order to take this job, I couldn't have the troop anymore, and which is understandable, right? Can't be a volunteer in the same organization you're working for, which made perfect sense. But they had just signed up individually, so they do all the same things, but just not as a troop. So that's one of the really good things about Girl Scouts, is that I think they adapt to those kinds of changes of the girl profile. So hopefully that answers your question.
It does. Thank you so much. All right. Next we have Joe.
Okay, our summer program goes by the name of Soar Higher, and SOAR is an acronym for Successful Opportunities to Achieve. And it encompasses ages from 14 to 24 years of age. And it's structured in 4 different models, which I think is really great because it allows for a specific age or skill sets to be met as far as their needs for the summer of being a valuable experience. Our first model is the project-based model, and it's for young folks from the ages of 14 to 16 years of age. And in a lot of cases, this is their first experience in working as a team, working within a team and being part of a team. And as we all know, the world of work does require some teaming, usually, at some point in time. And the second model is for work experience. And this is for folks from 16 to 24 years of age that have no work experience at all. They have some teaming experience, maybe in sports or church, those types of venues, but they have no work experience at all. So this is their first introduction, definitely introduction to having their own work assignment. They're under real close mentorship with a leader, but they have no idea of what possible careers could be, what an industry is, so this is their first introduction to that. And then the next model is our internship model for folks from 17 to 24 years of age, and is building more on those skill sets that folks in the project-based and work experience models are getting. So they've been in teaming environments and situations. They have had a little bit of work experience. So now they're starting to think about, hey, maybe I want to go in this direction or that direction. I really enjoyed hearing about that or experiencing that in some other experiences of work that I've had. Then our final model is called the CEO model, and we have acronyms, but we explain them. So CEO stands for Career Exploration Opportunities, which I think that's an awesome name. We put a challenge out to our team for someone to come up with a catchy acronym that really meant something. So Career Exploration Opportunities are for folks from 18 to 24 years of age. And these internships are for folks that have experience. They've had some work experience, and they're assigned to employers that are looking for folks that can be assigned, given an assignment, and they can follow it through with little supervision. It's still a learning experience for them, but they do come with a little bit of skill sets in the world of work. What we do to prepare these young adults for these assignments is they go through work experience training, workplace training, and that includes not just how to prepare a resume, how to interview, but it also includes soft skills, because a lot of employers are looking for folks that have those soft skills. Can you work well within a team? Do you understand that there's truly some do's and don'ts within the work environment that if you don't follow those, you're not going to stay or you're not going to be successful? Just because you know how to perform a task but you can't get along with folks, you don't know the importance of getting to work on time. You don't know the importance of, you do have a scheduled break. And you should start the break at a certain time and end the break at a certain time. So our work readiness training encompasses all of those types of skills that employers are looking for. Now, right now, with the CEO model, we work with employers throughout the community that are willing to take on our students, our interns, one reason being because we do prepare them prior. They are aware of what the employers are looking for. And the employers understand that they're going to be talking to folks that are going to be the future 21st century workforce. So this is a very important project for them to be included in. But as we go through the panel discussion, I'm sure with your questions, your CNN questions, I'll be able to share more. But I'm looking forward to talking more with you about our program.
Great. Well, thank you so much. And I guess I've got a question in regards to some of the programs that you guys talked about, whether they include fees or not. But is there, if there are fees, are there opportunities for our young people to get scholarships to the various programs that you have? Because not everybody has the wherewithal to pay for these fees, et cetera. So is there that opportunity, and how would they look for those opportunities in the various programs that we speak of?
We have a program, our acronym is PLAY, our Private Leisure Assistance for Youth. That provides, during the summer, 1 week of camp free. No matter what camp you're choosing, as a sport camp, from football to tennis to hockey to basketball, or outdoor adventure camp, our big camps, event center camps. So that provides anyone that's on free or reduced lunches an opportunity to have a free week of camp. Also, some of our classes at our community recreation centers provide the play grant for the children to participate. And so I would just knock on the door, walk on in, and ask if there's any play grants available. These are also online, and you can have a free week of camp or a few of the classes. We don't want to turn anyone away, so we really try to work with the parent in some way, shape, or form.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
To be a member of our community club program, the cost is very minimal. We have a $16 activity fee, but we waive that for financial hardship. There are small fees like $5 for a project book. But our camping program, we do offer what we call camperships, which is a scholarship to go to camp. This year, the deadline to apply for those camperships was May 15th, so that has already passed. But for next year, we do have a campership application that is usually due on May 15th. So.
Excellent. Excellent. Anyone else?
We have financial assistance available for programs at the Girl Scouts. I know in the outdoor program area, our goal is to get girls outdoors, and it goes for both indoor and outdoor. So there's an application online, or you can call our office and we can send it to you, and we won't deny any girl at least some financial assistance for any of the programs. So please encourage folks to apply. I know that that's hard sometimes. People don't like to do that. But I think that it's an opportunity where we can get our girls outside and involved in some programs, and I think it's well worth it.
Excellent.
Well, I didn't mention all of our internships are paid internships, and in partnership with the city, the county commissioners and the county there, the city, the commissioners and the county, there is funding for our 3 models. They're income-based, but there is funding, but folks that are interested, the young folks that are interested have to go online to apply, and then their application is reviewed. For the CEO project, the private employers, they're paying the wages, so there's not a fee for the participants.
Excellent, excellent. Well, also, with the variety of youth and community out there, but what about our youth with disabilities? Are you handicap accessible, et cetera, or do you have programs focused towards those who have some type of disability or handicaps? Is there anything that you guys have out there?
Our therapeutic recreation section provides summer programs and camps and year-round programs. We also have all-inclusion activities in our centers that are handicapped accessible, and our outdoor adventure program is probably a big program where we can do some activities, but we welcome everyone. We have seniors that come in and do programming. We have Graham and Gramps camps, so we don't exclude anyone. So please go out and reach out to the community rec centers, our parks, our playgrounds. We really try to meet the needs of everyone, whether they're physically challenged or not.
Okay.
Thank you.
As an entity of Ohio State University and with our local funding from our county commissioners, we of course abide by all ADA guidelines, and we make every effort to accommodate youth with special needs. If we're unable to accommodate youth with physical special needs that maybe can't do our normal camp for kids with all the hill climbing and things like that, we also offer a statewide camp for kids with severe physical special needs, and that's in Southern Ohio, and any kid from the state of Ohio is able to go to that. So we can offer information for that camp if anyone has questions about that.
The Highland Youth Garden has had several children with special needs that have used the garden and came in, and even though it's a mulch pathway, it's a very hard mulch pathway, and we've had wheelchairs in through there. Our bridge is wheelchair accessible that goes into the native plant area, and then we have a beauty garden area that's also wheelchair accessible. But we also welcome children with other special needs like autism, and we feel that I went to an all-day conference on autism and agriculture at Ohio State, and it is very important that we engage the children that have autism or Down syndrome or any other special needs in working in gardens, whether it be at your home or in a community garden. It just really, I've seen it just transform them. I've seen a group of young guys that had special needs with different developmental needs, and they just, not to take the soar thing, but these children soar from just getting their hands in the soil and learning about how to grow something. And then whenever they do grow something from a seed and they start seeing it growing and it's a foot tall, it's like they feel that they've really accomplished something. And the journals that we have really, you may be able to read some of those if you take a moment, but these children love to feel that they have accomplished something. And even though it takes a few weeks for these plants to grow, it is just amazing with children with all different needs. And I want to say most of our children are free or reduced lunches in our inner city gardens. And so for them to be able to see that they can grow their own food, and we try to give them tomato plants to take home and seeds and things, we want them to share that with their younger brothers and sisters, what they're learning. So hopefully that answers some of your questions, but I just think every child has some sort of special need, and we try to address that.
Excellent.
Excuse me, all of our sites are accessible in terms of physically challenged folks. And in terms of other special needs, and working with the day camp coordinators probably is what I'm most familiar with. I was a day camp director for 3 years before taking this job. And each staff is very different. You find out what the child's challenges may be, and then you work with that parent and also the volunteers on that staff to accommodate them. And we've never turned any child away. It could be a little challenging because when you're in the hills of Blended Woods or whatever, not all the paths are great. But we may assign that unit then to one that's a little closer to the parking lot. So we do work with folks like that. And then what I've also done is to help the staff to understand a little bit about what are some of the challenges when working with children with disabilities. And so we've tried to take that extra step to educate our volunteers when working with folks. So we're real open to that.
We also at COWIC follow the ADA guidelines, and we require that the sites that our interns are placed at do also, because it's very important, not only that it's a learning experience, but it's a safe environment for where they are during that time. And this is a really timely question because a couple months ago here at COWIC we had an in-service training. And our president and CEO wants to make sure that just with that subject, that the staff here are prepared to work with those types of customers. But we had organization come in that's named Access to Interpretation, and they work with folks that are deaf or hard of hearing. And just last week, we had one of our casting call job expos for Soar Hire, and there was a young lady that came in that was deaf and needed assistance. And because we had that training a couple months ago, our staff was just better prepared to accommodate her and make her feel really, really comfortable and having a valuable experience with us that day.
Excellent. And is it my understanding also that I think you're working with Right Choice with Tech here? Mm-hmm. And she's placing some people through
yes. Yeah. Thanks for prompting me there. But yes, Right Choice is an organization that works with quite a few handicapped customers, and they're one of our sites for summer this year. So, yes.
Excellent. Well, yes.
Some of the gardens throughout our city have wheelchair accessible raised beds also, and that's something that. Just call Bill Dawson and he'll let you know which ones, Bill Dawson at Franklin Park Conservatory, and he'll let you know which gardens are more accessible for people with handicaps.
Excellent. In just a few minutes, we're going to be having, as a matter of fact, if you could at this point, start coming up if you want to ask a question of our panelists or something great that you have going on. Please start to get lined up because I have a couple more questions, and then we'll be taking questions from the audience. So, I hear a lot of things that are going on, and I'm getting so motivated here. I want to volunteer. So how can adults and then also the young people get involved and volunteer with your organizations? Start where everyone.
I'll go ahead and start. Many of our community recreation centers have a teen club or teen leadership group, and teens are welcome to join and assist in daily activities throughout the summer and also during the indoor season. We also welcome adults to come in and coach our youth sports programs or even volunteer to teach a class, a senior teaching, sewing or cooking class. We may have someone that wants to come in and teach the children how to golf. All they need to do is contact the center manager. There is an online application. We always do a background check for the adults, and we have parent permission for the teens so that the parents know that they're involved in volunteering. We also have our ZOR students or participants coming to help each of our centers out. So that was a great partnership. We look forward to having them assist us each and every year. We never turn a volunteer away if they're able and ready to put some sweat equity into helping us serve the youth in the community. We have community gardens that we're always looking for volunteers to come and help. Many are raised bed and handicapped accessible. We have field trips. Now there's a fun thing to do, to volunteer. Not only do you get to work with children, you actually get to go on a field trip and assist. We go to the zoo, we go to the Columbus Clippers. Individual community recreation centers have trips elsewhere, maybe to the museum, to the Zambezi Bay. That's a big trip. We need lots of volunteers, especially if you like to be in the water. Don't just come and sit and sunbathe, because we definitely need you in the water with the children. The Columbus Clippers is a big one because you also get to go to the baseball game, but introduce the kids that may not have had an opportunity to see a baseball game. So yeah, go to your rec center, get online. We can click right on to how to become a volunteer, and we'll get started. Yesterday we could have started. We need you that much. So come out and join us, have fun doing so, and give back, and hopefully you'll sign up.
And is there an age limit? I mean, not high,
Well,
but
yeah.
let's say if a real young person wants to get involved.
I would say we start with the tweens now. That seems a big term. The term, they want to be teenagers. They can't wait to be in the teen leadership group. They want to be a junior leader. So as soon as they're dependable, and and you can sense that in the rec centers. You give them little things to do. You know, hey, are you going to come tomorrow? Help me weed the garden. They don't show up. You know, you sort of have to have someone that's committed, dependable, respectful, and really want to, you know, work. And that's something that we've always encouraged children to take that step up in giving back and helping someone else learn. And all the tweens, I say 12-year-olds, and some of the 10 and 11-year-olds want to be in that group. If they're willing to assist and they're able, we definitely don't turn them away. Yeah,
Excellent.
I like to have them.
All right, Beth.
I'm glad you said you're motivated to volunteer. I'm going to sign you up today to be a 4-H volunteer.
All right, I'm ready.
No. We have opportunities for our adults to become 4-H volunteers. There's a 6-step screening process that includes an application, background check, interview, and references. And so currently we have nearly 200 4-H volunteers that are adults in our program here in Franklin County. And those adults do a fantastic job of offering club programming and mentoring and all kinds of wonderful things for our 4-H community club program. And we're always looking for more adults to start new clubs. As I said earlier, we have over 40 clubs here in Franklin County, and we're always looking to expand our reach. And we are a grassroots organization, which means our community members are running our organization through volunteerism. So we just value our volunteers so much for all they do. As far as youth are concerned, being a part of 4-H is all about giving back to our community. The 4-H is our head, heart, hands, and health. So we're about developing the entire youth through the head, which is our cognitive development, heart, emotional development, hands, service and service learning, and health is about healthy living and our physical development. So pretty much everything our kids do it is a volunteer process, and that starts with kids in kindergarten through age 18. So as the little ones, their service to others could be picking up trash at a park as part of their club activities, or it could be being a part of what we call we just had our first annual Walk and Serve-a-Palooza, where over 350 people came and put together over 2,000 service projects for over 20 nonprofit organizations here in Central Ohio. That was in April, and it was just an awesome opportunity to see all those kids come together and make toys for the dogs at the dog shelter, and make little stuffed animals for our first responders to put in their ambulances. They did 20 different service activities and making 2,000 projects to give back to our community. So being a part of 4-H is about serving our community. So it's part of our 4-H pledge, being a part of your world, your country, your community, and your club. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we were part of the Highland Youth Garden was a recipient of one of those 4-H clubs, the Groveport 4-H Buccaneers. They painted pots for the Highland Youth Garden, and we were able to raise money to help us get our spring plants purchased and seeds that we needed. So that is really a wonderful opportunity to volunteer. And I also want to say that if anyone would like to volunteer at the Highland Youth Garden, please go to on Facebook to Highland Youth Garden. Let us know that you would like to volunteer. And also you can see some videos of our garden on YouTube. I'm not into tweeting either, but hopefully one of these days we will be. But our garden is so magnificent because of the volunteers. That is really the basis for how this garden has grown. And even the children, they will not, they leave school and they want to volunteer at the garden on their way home. And we're constantly making sure that's okay with their parents. But they just cannot wait to volunteer themselves. It's not just about them coming to a program. They have become young volunteers in the community. So I just encourage each of you. Also, the Greater Columbus Growing Coalition is part of it's like resources and information is provided to community gardens through that organization. That's going to be one of the newest nonprofits here in our city. And you can go to columbusgcgc.org and find out more about volunteering at community gardens.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, our day camps are all run by volunteers. And so part of my job is to recruit volunteers. And I start as soon as I finish. So in the fall is when I'll start, or even at the end of camp, I'll start asking people, you want to come back next year? I work directly with 85 of them. And then those staffs then have to recruit to have as many, there's a ratio, obviously, for adults to youth. And so as many volunteers as they can recruit is as many kids that we can allow in camp. So last year we had 700 day camp volunteers. We're not quite there yet. We're about 525, 550. And so there's plenty of room left if you're interested. We do have a background check, an application, references, all those sorts of things. There's a couple online classes that they have to take, which don't take very long, but it introduces them to the Girl Scout way of doing things and whatnot. We have, so that's day camp. We have lots of other opportunities. If there's things that you're interested in or that you're good at or you'd like to do, like for example, backpacking or canoeing or archery, if you're certified already in that, we can put you on a list, get you go through the volunteer application process. And then when there's a program or that we need some people for a canoe trip, we do a blast out to our volunteers via email and say, hey, are you available on June 5th? We have a program and we need some canoe instructors. We also, this year, what we've decided to do was we will go ahead and train you for free. And it's very expensive, actually, to be trained as like a canoe certified instructor or archery or whatnot. And so in turn, you would owe us 2 sessions, teaching 2 classes for us for 1 year. So that's pretty good payback, I think. So we have classes. I think the June 5th weekend is backpacking, canoeing, challenge course, and I don't remember the others. But survival skills, all of those. And so, like I said, I think it's a full day. We train you, and then we put you on a list. I'm going to be in a couple of those classes myself since I'm so new, so maybe I'll see you there. Other things that we really need some help in, this year we decided to do high adventure. We heard a lot from the older girls that there's not a lot of programming for them, and they want to go and do like rappelling and backpacking for over a week. And so we went ahead and we added some of those. We have a whitewater rafting trip. We have a canoe trip that's up in Minnesota that's for 2 weeks. We have rappelling. So some of those, if you're already certified in that, or if you're really interested in it, have some experience, we would welcome some, we would talk with you about having you help us out in those realms too. In terms of the youth, we have a lot of opportunities for youth. In the day camps alone, there's what's called PALs, or Program Aid Leaders, and those kids are 7th grade and up. And in my camp, I had about 24 of them, and some of the larger camps, they have up to 60. And they assist our volunteers. So if there's a unit, let's say, of 22 brownies, you would have 2 adults and you would have 2 pals, and then they would help you. The unit leaders are trained in outdoor skills and those sorts of things, how to make a fire, how to cook outdoors, but they don't do it very often. And a lot of times our pals or our youth are much better at those kinds of skills, so they help out and jump in and can really help. Through resident camp, there's also the CIT program, which is counselors in training, so we start them early. It's a leadership building. Again, we're all in progression. And the LIA, which is the Leadership in Action, which is for a little bit younger, the tweens. So again, we're about leadership and building courage, confidence, and character, so there's all kind of opportunities, again, on our website. So we'll welcome you to check it out.
Excellent. Thank you.
We have a number of opportunities for volunteers with our Soar Higher program, so much so that we have a special Do You Want to Volunteer page on our website at www.highercentralohyouth.com. And those opportunities can range from helping with our work readiness workshops that I mentioned earlier. In order to prepare our young folks, we have a series of 11 work readiness workshops, which are 4-hour workshops each. So there's a lot of opportunity there, along with volunteering to assist us with our job expos. We have a series of those, 6 total. And also, as far as our work sites and our vendors that we work with, such as Parks and Recs, as she mentioned, they need volunteers also, but for us, our form for folks to sign up and volunteer is through our website. Another form of volunteerism, we have activity that we started last year with our Soar Higher program, and it's called First Friday. And it's not happy hour. It's actually for successful folks to volunteer to tell their story of how they got to where they are. And it's a form of, wow, that's really interesting. But it's also a form of letting folks know, young folks know, that you don't have to start at a certain level to be successful. I do find in some cases some of our young folks are like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm waiting until I can get what I really like to do. But when they hear the story of folks that they know that name, and they're like, they started as that, and they're this today. Our first person that was featured was Mayor Coleman. And he started out, he had 2 jobs, maybe more, but 2 that I know he's mentioned. And that is, he used to paint houses, and he used to work in a barbecue shack. So, I mean, who'd have thought? We also had a First Friday featuring Janet Jackson. She's the president and CEO of the United Way. We featured our president and CEO of COWIC, Suzanne Coleman-Tolbert. So it's really, really interesting, different ways that people can contribute that you may not think may be a form of volunteerism, but just being willing to volunteer and tell your story, that's been successful also.
That's great. Yes.
We have a program that's coming up, and we actually still need some volunteers, so I'm going to throw it out there. And it's a girl thing. It's the one being held at Ohio Wesleyan, and it has all these different kinds. And maybe Heidi, if I forget some, you can jump in. We have letterboxing, duct tape art, Zumba, digital photography, Makeup 101, Project One Way, and within that there's manners, candle making, cake decorating, and spa. I don't know what exactly that is. And there's some fitness ones too. It's like a kickboxing one, and self-defense is another one. So if you have any interest or you're really good at these sorts of things and you'd like to help out, let me know after.
I think I can help with the duct tape art
That-
because I have done a lot of work with duct tape.
Can you make a wallet or a rose?
I've had to do so much with duct tape, cars, I mean, fixes everything.
Awesome.
Can I add just one more thing?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think it's really important to not only look for volunteers, adults, youth, but also to encourage the young adults young folks that are participating in our programs to have a sense of volunteerism. So looking at programs that push them to give back is really important. And we're looking at having a blood drive. And you can donate blood from ages 16 on up, as long as you're healthy. And we're looking to organize a blood drive here at COWIC to encourage our participants in the Soar Higher program. And you know, that's really giving back. That's a stretch even for me, but it's a lesson well learned.
Oh, yes, most definitely. And you know, I'm so encouraged by hearing, you know, everything that's going on through the summer because, you know, all too often we hear, well, there's nothing up for us to do. There's nothing for, you know, the young people to do. Well, I'm hearing, you know, and just from this few that are, you know, up here, of so many great things that you guys are doing. So I applaud you for what you're doing for our young people in the community. And we do have a question. So if you can question or comment. Something to add, come on up. Something to add, that's why we're here.
Thanks. I have to adjust this downward a bit. I just wanted to add an opportunity to all these wonderful opportunities up here as well. My name's Stephanie. I work for an organization called Youth to Youth. If you're not familiar with it, it's a drug and alcohol prevention, healthy youth development program. We've been around for over 30 years, and every year we have a youth development leadership camp. It's 4 days, 3 nights at Capital University. It's open to current 8th grade through 12th grade, so those students who are going into 9th grade this fall through graduating high school seniors. And it's a wonderful opportunity to meet tons of positive teens, not only from our own community here in Franklin County and Ohio, but nationally. So there's students from over 400 people attend this conference every year, students from all over the United States. The thing that makes this very unique is that it's youth-led and adult-guided. So we've got a trained staff of high school students that are kind of the driving energy of the conference. They're up on stage doing presentations, they're leading games and activities, they're forming relationships with the participants, they're leading small discussion groups. So it's really high school mentors that are kind of the leaders on stage, and then working in as a team with some of our trained adult staff as well. I've got the flyers with more information here, and I can kind of just leave them on the table for anyone who wants more information or just to kind of take a look at it. The normal cost of this conference is $425, but we have a really unique opportunity in Franklin County to offer $50 rates, and that is all inclusive. It covers their meals, their lodging, everything for those 4 days and 3 nights while they're there, which is a unique opportunity. So again, I'll go ahead and put this on the front, and if you guys have any questions, you can let me know afterwards. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Yes, and I'll put this back up again. Yes, another great opportunity for our young people to get involved. I'm going to give a last call if you have any additional questions for our panelists. If not, I'm going to wrap up here with maybe 1 or 2 more questions. So in seeing none, let's go back to, or let me just ask this before we do wrap up, contacts as far as how do I connect with each one of your agencies, either by, with the web addresses, phone numbers, et cetera. And we'll start with Recreation and Parks. Linda?
I think the easiest way and to try to figure out exactly which community center you want to volunteer or program you want to contribute your hours to or even participate in is to go to the website, because it's very informative. You can go through each of the pages and see the different camps, the program offerings, what type of facility it is, what type of a community, what they're offering, what maybe they're not offering that you could offer as a volunteer. That's real important. I mean, I would love to have someone come and do duct tape art at my rec center when I was a center manager, but wasn't able. No one walked in, and I wasn't going to give it a try myself. But the number to contact for information would be 645-3334, and our website is www.columbusrecparks.com. And I want to say, as with the 4-H Girl Scouting and SOAR, volunteers are the backbone of our organizations, and the thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of kids we reach every day, from preschoolers all the way up to our even the senior programs. I mean, I have a lady that was in my walking program that went on a hiking trip that was in her 80s, and I thought, boy, if I had someone to help me when I'm in my 80s to explore the outdoors, I would just be so grateful. So volunteer for any age group, provide any type of program that you're interested in doing that would benefit that particular centers. We're looking for right now volunteers to help with our fall programming. That starts up in September. Soccer alone, I know one center has over 800 kids signed up. So they need soccer coaches, basketball coaches, tennis coaches, cheerleading and dance coaches, cooking class instructors, art instructors, anything that you're willing. Auto, how to repair an auto. Wouldn't that be an awesome class for us adults to take? How about a teenage girl? What to do if they had a flat tire? So come on, men, women, get out there and volunteer. Really, very seldom do we turn anyone away. If you pass a background check and you've got an awesome idea, knock on that community center's door, help with one of the gardens in the out park, help build a playground. There's so many opportunities to give back and be a part of your community, and that's why we're here. We partner with Girl Scouting in some of our centers. I left Indian Mound as a center manager. We used the 4-H Leadership Development Program for our tween and teen club, and that was a very I think a well-planned program that they offered us to teach our youth the leadership development. They did community service projects, going to the local community senior center, and also to an assistant living site. So they were giving back, and they were just came back and thought, wow, we never had this opportunity before, or I used to be afraid to go there. The garden the other day at Crum Park, the kids were going to plant sunflower seeds. Well, I know that sunflower seeds are the things we eat and are the same flower that I get the seed I eat from. They opened up the package and were, oh my gosh, I eat these. You know, they didn't even know where the sunflower seed came from. So there's so much for everyone to give and to learn and to, aspire to be. And we're looking for volunteers, looking for anyone that will knock on our doors to volunteer and give back. So I just wanted to share that with you because I thank everyone on this panel, Zor and COWIC, because an opportunity to give the youth in our rec centers to get able to learn leadership skills, job employment skills, and get a little cash spending money is awesome. Thank you so much to the 4-H and Scouting and every other group.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Linda. Beth?
If you're interested in any of our programs, you can find information from our website, which is franklin.osu.edu. And if you click on 4-H Youth Development, all of our 4-H Youth Development programs are there. If you'd like to talk to our office staff about coming to your organization or school program or after-school program, about doing some of our STEM activities or local foods activities, or even our Real Money, Real World program, which is a simulation for middle school and teens that teaches them about financial literacy and is a program that is just really amazing. It's an OSU Extension signature program. Teaches them or gives them a one-day experience of having a job, a family, and trying to make ends meet and it's a really impactful program. So if you're interested in any of those, you can contact our office either by getting the contact information from our website at franklin.osu.edu, or you can call our office at 614-866-6900. And if you'd like a school or organization program, us to come into your organization, you can use extension 214 and talk to Sue Hogan. So, thanks.
Thank you. Peggy?
All right. I just want to say volunteering is so important. I think everyone in our city should volunteer 1 hour a week. It really doesn't take any time. You just give up one TV program a week and go volunteer somewhere, mainly at where we are up here on the panel. But I mean, really, at any place of your choice. Whenever you volunteer, especially working with children, you're investing in our own future. And I want to say volunteering has been very important to me as a person, and giving back is very important as we grow in our own careers. The best number to reach us, again, well, the best way is the Facebook, or you can do hyouthgarden@gmail.com. And the other one is just my phone number, which is 260-5767. And of course, the GC, Columbus GC, gc.org. And if all else fails, call Bill Dawson, because Bill will point you in the right direction. And I just want to really thank my daughter-in-law and Naomi, our youngest person in the room. We're going to start her volunteering as soon as she's able to walk. So, thank you.
If you go to the website, you can type in Girl Scouts, and our website should come up, but it's gsoh.org. The org is the trick, because if you put .com, it won't come up. Or the phone number, 487-8101, and that'll connect you to any of our offices throughout the entire council, which we have one in Zanesville, we have one in Marion, Mansfield, Portsmouth, Chillicothe. I think that's it. And our main office is in Grandview at Watermark. And I think, again, just to reiterate the volunteerism, it could lead to a new career job. See, so I was a volunteer, and now I'm in charge of all the day camps. So, and also, one last plug: we really need some help in terms of volunteers in the STEM areas. And we'd prefer women, because I think that gives it's a really good mentor for our young girls. But obviously, we always welcome men as well. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about some volunteer opportunities coming up this spring.
Yep.
Those interested in our program, SOAR Hire, be it as a volunteer or a parent wanting, or a young person wanting to take advantage of the internship opportunities, or an employer that's interested in coming on board. Our employer champion this year is Jane Grody of Donato's. So she's leading that charge for us, but we still have lots of young folks that need opportunities, so we could use more employers. But the website is www.highercentralohyouth.org. That's highercentralohyouth.org. And just one more thing I wanted to mention, we were privileged, and some of us at COWIC were privileged to have been invited by Mayor Coleman to his chambers to take a call, a live, real-time call from President Obama. And the call was a call calling mayors across the United States and some key employers within their communities to step up to the plate and offer our young folks opportunities this year, be it paid internship, volunteerism, because they are our future. They're our future workforce. And in a lot of cases, this will be their first opportunity or look into the window of the real work life. So it's our responsibility to do that for them. And it gives them something to do with their free time, their idle time. So we know idle minds, what that means. So I just wanted to add that our President of the United States is on board with us in offering these opportunities for our young people.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I appreciate everything that all of you do. Recreation and Parks, 4-H Youth Development Extension, the Girl Scouts, the Highland Youth Garden in Cowick. You guys are doing an excellent job, and also Youth to Youth, was it? Doing a great job out there, and we appreciate everything that all of you do, but then also all of you do. And as you talked about the young person here, that's why we are doing these things, to make sure that they have every opportunity to grow up in the city of Columbus and become productive citizens. And so we welcome everything that we can do to make an impact on our youth. You know, and you spoke about mentoring also, and let me just segue into our next Lunch and Learn is on mentoring opportunities, and it's June 28th. So normally I believe it's the fourth Friday or the last Friday of each month, but our next Lunch and Learn series is mentoring opportunities. And then the last one, July 26th, is faith-based youth advocates. So how the faith-based in our city are getting involved with our youth. Last thing, make sure that you check us out on Facebook and like us at Columbus Community Relations Commission. Also, as you know, I like to thank CTV. If you have an opportunity, and I'm sure you do, anytime you turn on that TV, turn it on Channel 3 and watch CTV, and this program will be re-aired on there, and also it's live streaming and streaming on the web, so you can check it out there at our website at www.crc.columbus.gov. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you for being here. I'd like to thank our viewing audience for being here, and have a great week. Take care.